When did you realize that you married a monster? The night I found my husband in our daughter's bedroom at 2 a.m., and he looked me in the eyes and said, "You'll never prove anything." David and I had been married for 8 years. He was charming, successful, and everyone loved him. The perfect husband and father on the surface. But over the past year, our 6-year-old daughter Emma had been acting strange. Nightmares, fear of bedtime, didn't want to be alone with daddy anymore. I thought it was just a phase. Kids go through weird stages, right? David was so good with her during the day, reading stories, playing games, acting like the world's best father in front of everyone. But Emma started having accidents again, wetting the bed after being potty trained for years. She'd flinch when David hugged her. When I asked Emma what was wrong, she'd just say she was scared but couldn't explain why. David convinced me Emma needed therapy. "She's just anxious," he'd say. "Some kids are more sensitive." The therapist said Emma showed signs of trauma, but couldn't identify the source. Emma wouldn't talk about what was scaring her. That's when I started paying closer attention. David would volunteer to put Emma to bed every night. He'd spend an hour in her room reading stories with the door closed. When I suggested leaving the door open, David said Emma asked for privacy because she was embarrassed about her bedwetting. I installed a baby monitor in Emma's room, telling David it was to hear if she had nightmares. For 3 weeks, I heard nothing unusual, just normal bedtime sounds, David reading stories, Emma saying goodnight. Then one night, I woke up at 2 a.m. and David wasn't in bed. I checked the monitor and heard whispered voices from Emma's room. I crept down the hallway and found Emma's door closed, with David inside. Through the baby monitor, I heard David's voice. "This is our special secret, remember? Mommy would be very sad if she knew about our games." My blood turned to ice. I quietly pushed open the door and saw David sitting on Emma's bed in a way that made my stomach sick. Emma was awake, looking scared and confused. When David saw me, he didn't look surprised or guilty. He looked annoyed. "You'll never prove anything," he said calmly, like he'd been expecting this moment. That's when I realized I hadn't married a man. I'd married a monster who'd been planning this since Emma was born. David stood up and walked past me like nothing had happened. Emma had another nightmare. I was comforting her, but I saw the truth in Emma's terrified eyes. The next morning, I took Emma to the Children's Hospital for a forensic examination. The evidence was there. David was arrested that afternoon at his office. He continued claiming innocence, saying I was a jealous wife trying to destroy him. During the investigation, police found David's computer filled with horrific images. He'd been documenting everything. Emma spent months in therapy, slowly learning to trust again and understand that none of it was her fault. David got 25 years in prison. He still sends letters claiming he's innocent, and that I brainwashed Emma against him. The worst part wasn't discovering what David was. It was realizing that every loving moment I'd witnessed between him and Emma had been calculated manipulation. Emma is 12 now. She's brave, smart, and knows that real love doesn't come with secrets or fear. She saved herself by being too scared to keep quiet. I saved her by finally listening. The monster I married taught me that the most dangerous predators don't look like monsters. They look like the person you trust